Welcome back to North Sports Dynasty. I am your host, the Ginger of the North, the Foobs man himself, Mr. Canadian Big Board. As you can see behind me, I am the host of North Sports Dynasty. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell are we doing? It's Friday. I am excited. I don't know why. Friday. That's all that matters. It's the fact that it's the time to be alive, to have fun, to enjoy things, to just live, laugh, love, all that other fun shit. I was literally just singing, what the hell is it called? Hank Williams in the background. That's what I was doing. I was like, why do you drink? Hank, why do you roll smoke? Oh, it's such a good tune. You know, country music actually used to be really good. So they got all like twangy and emotional for the new stuff. Anyways, you know what this place is all about. Is the North Sports Dynasty, which means we have to first bring up our sponsor, ZAGNIF Productions, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have the shirt on today. That shirt, man, is getting tighter and tighter and tighter on me. Either the shirt is shrinking, which I don't think is the case because the quality of the shirt is really good. I think it's cashmere. I should probably read up on that a little bit better. But I don't know if it's because I don't think it's the cashmere. I think it's the fact that I'm just getting bigger. That's all. Putting on a couple of pounds. It may not look it because my cheeks, look at my cheeks and stuff. I always have these like tight little puzzy cheeks and shit. It doesn't look like I've gained any weight whatsoever, but I can almost guarantee you that I've gained just as much weight as probably, I don't know, Jalen Carter or anybody like that. So use 15% off. Use the code word ZAGNIF Apparel. Go get shirts, shoes, pants, no service. I already checked on that. It used to be shoes, shirt, service. I all hear ZAGNIF. No, apparently there's no service that comes with any of that. You just got to go use the code word FOOB15, put it in the link, and that is how you will get money saved on your purchase. So what do we got tonight? Well, first of all, if you play sports fantasy, aka the fantasy football kind, above on the title, this is the last week of fantasy football trades. So if anybody wants to trade me a running back, I'm trying to win. I've had this league for 4 fucking years, and I want the title in my house. We actually have a trophy. We bought a trophy, sent it to Ontario because fucking Robert won. And we have to send it all the way back to Brad, who won it year 1 and year 3. I'll never forget the Kamara days. Ugh. And now I'm sitting here in no longer a full rebuild, in a full retooled mode, and I'm ready to win the championship. Did anybody see the popular meme going on the internet where the guy traded his wife for Christian McCaffrey? Guy said, I will give you Tony Pollard, and you can sleep with my wife if I can get Christian McCaffrey. We're still waiting to see what the outcome of that was, if that trade actually went through, what the wife said. We don't know. I don't think it's going to come to that, but who knows? ZAGNIF APPAREL, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, got a few guests going to be joining us here in a little bit. One going to be a person that you've seen before here on North Sports Dynasty. They are also on Let's Talk Football, so there's a little tease for that. I see them in the background. Hello! I see hi. I'll bring you on in a few. And then, I see the other one in there. It's an old friend of mine who has decided to come in here and talk a little bit of gambling, because that's right. We actually win people money here on North Sports Dynasty. Would you look at that? We don't just randomly throw bets out there and say, bet with me and lose all your money. No, we actually do the research and tell people the way that they should bet. That's just the way we do it. So let's get into these tiers thing here. First, I got the first. Yeah, I got the trophy first. Yes, you did. As Robert, you got the trophy first. You won technically the second year. Yes. And you got it first because we didn't have the trophy in the first year. I'm getting that trophy. I have stated that trophy is going to be here. I am going to do a photo shoot with it. It is going to be hilarious. I need to win it, though. So if anybody out there in the league wants to trade me a running back, I have first-round picks, even though they're 3 years from now. But anyways, we're going to talk about the power tiers. We're going to get a couple of guests on here today. We got about an hour-long show. We're going to look at the Sunday and Monday games. And we were missing Kyle. Kyle's not going to be with us tonight because he decided to go do wedding stuff. Little bastard. Now I can't sit here and rag him about his Oilers. So now I'm going to have to do it to a guest who I'm already going to rag on them about their other NFL team. So now I just feel bad. No, we're going to actually talk about what the heck is going on with the Oilers as well. The Red Wings being on, the mellowing streak. And by the way, Connor Bedard got his first 4-point game. And it only took him how long? And it only took me how long to drop my marker. Ow. And to pull the headphones out of my ears. Oh, that really hurt. Oh, I got to put these back. All right. Let's talk about this tier thing before we get the guests on. As you see beside me, behind me, wherever, that really hurt my ears. Ow. I hate this thing. There we go. We got the power rankings from the Super Bowl teams, the playoff teams, the good teams, the neat pieces, the meh, and the bottom feeders. So if you are watching right now, drop a comment, drop a like, tell everybody what you have seen. And if you enjoy it, starting off with the Super Bowl teams, I think that kind of goes without saying. We got the Baltimore Ravens, the San Francisco 49ers, the Detroit Lions, the Cincinnati Bengals, Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Any two of those teams are going to be in the Super Bowl. If not, two of these teams are going to be in the Super Bowl. Can almost guarantee you that. If they're not, it's because these playoff teams had something to say about it. Now, these teams right here are not necessarily showing what you would say Super Bowl caliber, wins and competitions and all that kind of stuff, but they're showing that they are still good teams in the NFL. That is the best part, though. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars, you got the Cleveland Browns, you got the Seattle Seahawks, you got the Dallas Cowboys, and the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Bills, I was that close to putting the Bills in the Super Bowl window. There's something going on, whether it's all the injuries that are happening, whether it's the lack of consistency on the offensive side of the ball, whether it's just, madness in Buffalo, the whole Stephon Diggs thing in the offseason. Who knows? Well, the one thing is for sure is they are still a good team. We just need to find out, are they going to actually do something in the playoffs? Or are they just still, one and done? Also, the Browns being up here this high, did anybody see that coming? Not me. I was kind of gaslit to think that the Browns were going to be bad, but I mean, hey, I guess that Deshaun Watson contract is finally massaging its way into a positive, I guess you would say. Speaking of which, I gotta do this. I gotta do this because I've had these for a while, and since I just brought him up, let's just bring it up here. Deshaun Watson promises Brown fans that he will have a happy ending this season. Ooh. Just wanted to get that out there. He said that. Poor choice of words. Anyway, good teams. We got the Steelers, the Chargers, the Falcons, the Saints, and the Texans and the Colts. These are all teams that also could make a run for the playoffs. If they had issues in their division, they probably would win. So that's why Atlanta and New Orleans aren't necessarily what you would say playoff teams. I got them in the good category because it can be interchangeable. No different than the Texans and the Colts. If they led their own division right now, they're kind of interchangeable. The Steelers, why the hell can't the Steelers figure it out? It's beyond me. And same with the Chargers. I agreed with Chris's comment that I saw there on Facebook where he said, I think that if they had a good coach, that they would be in the Super Bowl caliber. I agree basically 100%. Maybe one more piece on defense too. So just think Denver plays Buffalo on Monday night. That's true. They are paying for a happy ending. They're hoping to pay for a happy ending, but apparently not. So, by the way, that's the guy who owns Christian McCaffrey in the league and nothing. So, kidding. Thank you for tuning in, Jose. The needs pieces. We got Tennessee. This is Washington because I don't have a commander sticker magnet and I ain't going to put their racist old one on. So I just put a W there's a white W. Maybe that's a little contradictive. I don't know. I'm sorry, Sean, if you're out there. I got the Jets, I got the Rams, and I got the Raiders. Now, this is where someone actually messaged me, and they're in the comment section. That's what happens when you buy on Wish. I had one person message me and be like, what in the fuck is this? So I'm going to go straight to it. The Raiders and the Broncos. He's like, why? And he's in the comment section too. It's Robert. Says, why aren't those two switched? Now, this is a good question because I actually do think that the Broncos are starting to make their way up a little bit, even though I kind of went sideways there. They just, when you think of household names in the NFL, who do you start thinking of for the best players out there, right? You start thinking of, your Justin Herberts, your Patrick Mahomes, and your Josh Allens. It's like, okay, we'll take the quarterbacks aside. What other players are you thinking of? You're thinking of, okay, a Max Crosby. You're thinking of a Devontae Adams. Okay, those are two very big household names. What else does Denver have besides the ghost of Russell Wilson? Jerry Jeudy is still a household name to me. I still like Jerry Jeudy. I still like Sutton. I still like some of the pieces that they have on there. But it's also not the NFL of 7 years ago. So the NFL does this every so often where some of these household names that we've grown up with start actually falling out and aren't as good as what we thought. But because they've done other things before, that's what makes them good. Max Crosby is showing himself out now. Devontae Adams is still showing himself out now. Myers even is starting to show himself out a little bit there. The offensive line, there's a guy's name there. I mean, I'm forgetting, and that kind of goes into the argument. Well, it's not a household name. Sure, I agree with that. If you want to get into it, technically Jimmy Garoppolo is a household name. And it's a very pretty name to a lot of other people out there. He's literally a poster for some people. So that's why I have the Raiders there saying needs pieces, almost like racist pieces. They a couple more all-star talents or just some more depth all across that roster. The Raiders could start going far. No different than the Broncos. It's no different than any of these teams, really. I mean, the bottom ones, like Carolina's only really got Bryce Young and some of the guys on defense. Chicago's, what kind of household names we got in Chicago right now? Justin Fields, DJ Moore, and the Giants. Everyone just knows Daniel Jones. right? So Wilson has better numbers than Mahomes by stats. If Denver's defense wasn't shit, I think it'd be different. For Denver, I believe we'd be 5-3 if we had it. Now, I can concur. I can kind of get on board with that. Wilson has better numbers than Mahomes. Robert, he's been around for how long? Come on. He also won a Super Bowl before he was even in college, I think. That's where I wish I had Sean with me. But you know what? I am going to bring one person on right now. So I want to get their take on all of this as well, especially on their team. Because I see them wearing the hat. I see them wearing all the gold. And it still baffles me why I ever bring a Saints fan on my show. But they are a very good friend of mine. Therefore, they are allowed to come on this show basically every day. I'm saying for the season now, career. Okay, fair enough. I see it. Bring on one of the hosts of the women's show. Let's talk football women's show. She'll tell me the name of it. Oh my God, I know it better. And NFC South Takeover, which I do as well with Nicole. How are we doing tonight?
Yep. I'm doing great. It's Friday. Well, actually, it kind of does suck because I am a little bit sick, actually. So.
Oh no.
But it's fine.
Yeah, see, everybody's starting to kind of get something. Robert was going to come on tonight too and talk about his Broncos, but he's feeling a little bit under the weather too. So, How you been? How's everything going?
Things have been good. I don't know which mic works, if it's this one, or if it's this one, or if it's this one, or if it's this one. So I just we got all the backups. I don't know how you're hearing me or where from.
I don't know how I'm hearing you either, but it's totally okay. The fact that I can hear you is perfectly fine. Speaking of hearing you, we also hear your Saints. They're starting to make a little bit of noise here. You know, they're finally starting to kind of get on track. Especially, I call him my boy because I can pick him up on waivers in every single league. Mr. Taysom Hill, becoming something that has only been done, I think, by 3 players of all time. So talk to me a little bit about your Saints. How good is this team? And do I have them appropriately ranked on my power rankings tier to you?
Hell no. Hell no.
Hell no.
Bump them up at least 3 times, at put them underneath in the Super Bowl.
You want me to put them in the Super Bowl?
Look, Eagles, they're flat out. They're going to fly down. Casey, they are going to run out of steam. But I'm telling you, Taysom Hill is amazing. And you're right. You put him in any spot, tight end, or if you have one of those leagues that you can put a quarterback, tight end, wide receiver, it's best putting him in because wherever he's going to go, he's going to get you fantasy points no matter what.
Yeah, his fantasy points are out of this world right now.
Yeah, I was actually just looking up, and he actually tied Frank Gifford.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard about this, but him and Frank Gifford, I started looking up who this guy was, and he broke a record that only him and Taysom Hill now have, that they're the only people to have 10-plus passing touchdowns, 25-plus rushing touchdowns, and 10-plus recorded receiving touchdowns. So he has 11, 26, and 10. And Frank has 14, 34, and 43. So, just seeing that kind of record, I was really, really proud. Reminds me of our older self and of our older team. But he's lucky he has defensemen like a Debo. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, your defense looks pretty good, too. I mean, your defense has always been respectively solid. You know, you got Cam Jordan out there and a couple of other guys out in the backfield, and you still got Tyrann Mathieu that you brought in a couple years ago as well. So, I mean, you say I got him low. Your rest of the schedule, how's that looking for the Saints?
Okay, so 50% of the time, we're playing our division. That's what I got noted.
Okay.
Yeah. So out of the 8 games that we have scheduled, 4 of them are going to be against our own division. So I believe that obviously is going to be Carolina, the Falcons and you guys, the Bucks. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember who specifically we played twice, but I know it's 50% of the rest of the season we're playing against our division. So.
Think, if I'm not mistaken, you played the Panthers twice, because I think you've played the Falcons once.
And we played them the last two.
Okay,
Falcons.
yeah. And I know that you played the Bucks, because that was like one of the only highlights of my year this year so far.
I remember I have amnesia all of a sudden.
So that's the other thing too, is obviously like these divisional games, these are the ones that usually make or break a team's season. And if you got 50%, do you think you could take 50% of those games, or do you think you're going to need at least like 75% to kind of get the division? Because Atlanta's pretty good.
That's true. I haven't underestimated them, but I know that they've been riding on our coattails per se. No, I'm kidding. Maybe we've been riding on theirs. Who's to say what's in the airstream these days, But yeah, I think it's always hard with our division. I know one thing is, I'm sorry to say, Panthers, you're in a rebuild session, okay? I think it's safe to say that for the Bucks or the Falcons, that we may have had that out of factors. So that's looking good for our division comparatively to, I don't know, like the Dallas Cowboys, Eagles, and San Fran division. That's shaping up to be pretty hard. So, but don't count us out.
I don't actually, because looking just at the overall standings of the NFC, the Saints very much, even if they don't win the NFC South, they could easily sneak in with the wild card. Green Bay's not playing nearly as good as everyone thought they were. Minnesota now needs Josh Dobbs to finally, utilize everything that's there. What's that?
That's who we're playing next week.
Oh, is the Vikings? I think that's an easy done. And especially if it's because if you're telling the New Orleans Saints team right now that if you beat the Minnesota Vikings, that's one less team you have to worry about for the playoffs. That's an easy one. That's Cam Jordan and everybody routing together being like, all right, screw this. Now, Justin Jefferson could obviously make a damper on that if he does come back. I just don't think that's going to happen, especially if Josh Dobbs. It was a fun story last week. The fact that he just came in and started listening to all the plays and kind of had to make it up as he went. Just kind of, old school football and kind of backyard football. I don't think that's going to happen with you guys. I think that's backyard football is not going to work against the New Orleans Saints. I know this because we've had backyard football teams on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go up against the New Orleans Saints, and it's worked. I like this right here. I find Carr is utilizing Kamara perfectly. That is true. Right. The Saints, though, you got the Vikings, and then the rest of the season, too, I think actually looks pretty good for the schedule, like obviously outside of the division. So what do you have for your team with the final record? What do you think it's going to be?
I think we could be possibly like
I'm actually losing you on the mic there, actually, Nicole.
I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know what to say.
That's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. You're good now. Once you leaned in, I was like, oh, there she is.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to be winning. I'll tell you that much. How's that?
You'll be over 500, that's for sure.
Yes, actually 0.73.
0.73. 73% winning percentage?
Yes.
So you're going to have 11 wins?
I would like to make the honor roll with 85%, but I wasn't an 80% student myself. All I knew was 65%, and I'm ass. So
yes. See, you're exactly like me. I'm
that's
like, what?
Division,
Yep. What's my passing grade? A 50? I'll get 52.
There you go.
And I got a 51. Yeah, aim for the middle. Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I'll get you out of here because I'm going to bring on my next guest. I wanted to get your take, obviously, on the Saints. And we were going to talk a little bit more about the South, but obviously Kyle is not here. And I, was going to talk about the Oilers, but I think we can leave that for another week or so. You guys are going to be fine. You guys are going to be fine. I'm going to talk about it in like 15, 20 minutes here. You guys are going to be just fine.
Well, just letting you know, the Saints will see you, okay?
I know. We'll see you again. And believe me, if I'm the reason you guys don't make it to the playoffs, I will hurt for you, but understand that everything else is going to be like so happy. So.
Okay.
Thank you again so much, Nicole, for being on here. Tell Mark I said hello, and we'll see you guys soon.
Sounds good. Peace.
See ya. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Nicole. She is the Ladies Takeover. That's the name of the damn show. Ladies Takeover, South on Let's Talk Football, and the NFC South show on Let's Talk Football as well. She's also in the fantasy group, and she hasn't accepted anything that I've sent her, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick commercial. We'll be right back with an old friend of mine who I haven't actually talked to. I haven't seen him in a little bit. But it's what happens when people message and they just want to talk, especially gambling, and you start making money together. So then I figured, you know what? Let's bring the guy on. Let's talk a little bit since I haven't seen him for a while. And my schedule is tight. So I almost might as well do shows on Friday and have people who I haven't seen in years or talked to in years just come on the show. Like Robert, though I've seen Robert when was that, Robert? That was what? 2019 was the high school reunion? We all got way too drunk and way too baked. And we went to, what was that? Black Pirates pub afterwards. And we saw good old Joey Miller. Shout out to Joey Miller, the 49ers fan. Saw Joey Miller doing a cover band show, which I think he's doing tonight as well. Also, shout out to Joey Miller again. And we walk over there with Cody Long and Kat Glad, Jen Dowdy, obviously my fiance. That was good times, Robert. I missed that. Yeah, Black Pirates. Yeah. See, that was good times, buddy. All right, let's get this commercial going up here. Pay the bills, obviously, because that's what we do. And we'll be right back. We'll talk a little bit more about gambling and some sports in about 2 minutes' time. Pittsburgh Steelers, number 75.
Who is Mr. Mean Joe Green?
Try me again, motherfucker.
Kelly is correct.
Yeah,
Go.
Who's Champ Bailey?
That's a double jeopardy right there, ladies and gentlemen. Double jeopardy.
What is a superflex?
Superflex is correct.
Yeah.
Out of kid, Kyle.
Oh.
I will take owners for 500, please.
Wait, I need to get out of here. Fuck.
Holy crap! I have the most passing yards in a Super Bowl. Connor McDavid, that is incorrect.
You son of a bitch.
Chris. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
No, you gotta be kidding. Hit so hard and it's Ed Reed, not Ray Lewis. Are we kidding me here?
Well, I'm sorry.
Alex.
Well, I'm fucked.
That's
Break it down now. 201 points. we
you
have.
son of a bitch.
All of it. All of it or no balls.
First
You
winner.
son of a bitch. Need to wait till the question was done.
You know what? You
The
know what?
fuck is this?
I'm just glad I did the math right and I didn't lose by a point.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
So I'll put you down to. What? Hello, sports nerds! Welcome back to North Sports Dynasty. I am the hostess with the mostest. The hostess? Oh, I remember that commercial. Oh my god, I can feel my brain like releasing right now. Oh, that's the spot hostess. That's a commercial I'm going to need to watch later on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Andrew Fulbert. I am live, as always, from the very slumber thing I call the basement. That's where North Sports Dynasty headquarters is, as you can see. There's my baby. There's my office. Look at it. I got 2 whiteboards. I got some sports shit over there. I got some venom and carnage. I got some sports jerseys. I have a nice little sports office. And you're all invited every Friday to come join it with me. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being here. Drop a like, drop a share, drop a follow. Tell everybody what the fuck kind of creature we got here in Edmonton. I am also sponsored by ZAGNIF Apparel, as you saw. And we are going to get a friend of mine in here to talk about some gambling. So with that, let me hit this intro that I haven't hit in a while. From Thunder Bay, Ontario. How the hell are we doing, Robbie?
Not too bad. Can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect.
I can hear myself also.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Figured out the settings on here.
We'll figure that out. Listen, it's your first time being in here. I'm so happy to see you. How the fuck you been? Tell me how you been, buddy.
Not too bad. I'm living in Alberta now.
Yeah.
Got 3 kids.
Ooh.
Yeah, all under 4.
Ooh, you've been busy.
Oh yeah. Well, 2 of them are my stepkids.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
And then Connor is my youngest. He just turned 1 October 13th.
Nice.
So Friday the 13th birthday.
Oh, you lucky.
Yeah.
Listen, lucky you got the birthday. I gave my kids basically the names of serial killers. So I mean, it is what it is. So what do you
like? What? Ted Bundy?
Well, no. I mean, Maverick's middle name is Archer, so it kind of already like Maverick Archer Colbert. Already sounds like a serial killer right there.
Yeah.
And Ava, like you just imagine walking into the room and just little redhead standing there, just like.
I'd be a little scared.
Yeah.
It'd be like Conjuring, just.
Yeah. So what do you got? What do you got on you there? Is it a Jets?
Nope, wrong side. Yeah, Jets.
Nice.
I'm,
Winnipeg
the
Jets.
camera being inverted.
Yeah,
I
true.
turn one way and it's going the other way.
Anthony, thank you for tuning in tonight. And yes, he does have an echo, but this is the first time he's been on. So obviously, we're gonna figure it out next time that it comes on here. Do you have a headphone that you can put on?
I gotta find my headphones.
Okay.
What? They're dead.
You had headphones.
I have headphones. They're dead, so I can't ping them from my phone.
No, you're good. Because don't worry. Because we're just gonna talk gambling for a little bit, and I'll get you out of here so you can just hear the rest.
Sounds good.
And then when I'm done,
hopefully win some more money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's talk about that. So I am looking at some of the bets that I made tonight, and to be honest, I don't think the Devils are gonna make a comeback. And I don't think the Flyers and Ducks are going to go over. So it is what it is there.
NHL right now because the Oilers have been fucking me over. I bet on them last night thinking they're going to beat San Jose. because they got to do goalie in, better average for his saving. Yeah, no, they fucked me over.
They're screwing everybody.
Fucking the worst team in the league beats the second worst team in the league. How does that happen?
I even said to my mom and dad when they were here, if for some odd reason they could beat the Sharks or the Sharks could beat the Oilers, there should be massive issues. I was like, but Draisaitl and McDavid alone should have been able to just beat them.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on.
Scoring goals.
No
you
goals.
got Nurse scoring goals instead.
Mm-hmm. And all their money that they spent on goalies aren't working either. So.
No. Fucking what is it, like a $27 million contract or something for 5 years?
25 by 25. Or 5 by 5 to make
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Well, tell me about what bets you've been making, because you obviously reached out to me, said, let's get money making here. I want to make money. I want to make some bets. And let's go. And you took a couple that I said right off the bat. You made some money. You started doing some studying.
I had
What's
no
that?
idea what I was doing my first night. I was
Yep.
like, here you go. Like, what do you think of these? You're like, I'm iffy on the one. And then later you come back to me and you're like, bro, you're fucking doing crazy right now.
Yep.
Yeah, that night I won like $80.
Yeah. And it was all off of just small amounts too.
Yeah.
Like we
$5 bid.
Yep. And that's all that I've been playing too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I once in a while might get a little inebriated and just say, fuck it. And just McDavid's gonna score tonight. Nope.
I have lost faith in the Oilers.
I haven't.
Good thing I still like the Red Wings and the Jets.
I love
And
that.
the Vegas.
They're not doing bad.
They're doing so good this year, bro.
I mean, that beginning stretch was awesome. They're kind of doing that. You know what I mean?
Better than they did last year.
1,000%. 1,000%. Don't think
It's been a while since they've had a comeback.
Oh God. That was just no. And it was a couple. Well, there was the been a while.
Yeah.
I think we need to talk hockey in a couple minutes here. I obviously wanted to pop you in, say hi and stuff like that, and see how you've been.
Oh man, I've been so good lately.
Isn't life great?
Right?
Especially in Alberta.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Alberta's kind of going downhill too. With Smith.
That is yeah. But still money here than back home. So
Yeah, that's honestly the main reason I got out here. I wasn't making anything. I got tired of living paycheck to paycheck.
Same.
That's why I had to leave. I go from making like $1,600 back home to making like $6,000.
Yep. Isn't it beautiful?
I've never turned back since. I was told
Nope.
I'll be out here for like a year and I'd be back home 10 years later.
Yeah. I'll come visit. Like, I'm gonna go back next year and go camping with a few people and stuff like that.
That's exactly how it is for me. I go back home, go visit, go spend some time with some family because my family's in Uppsala.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You're just like right. I was in South Gillies. You were in Uppsala. It's like all the good towns.
Right?
Now, I am going to pop you out of here. I'm going to finish up the hockey talk and stuff like that. It was great to see you. I will send you a link after I'm done the show. And then we'll see if I have enough time. I'll chat with you on there, and I'll talk about some other stuff, because I'm going to get you over for this Christmas party and stuff like that if I can.
Alrighty, sounds good, dude.
Okay, bro. Good to see you. And I will talk to you later.
Later, dude.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my buddy Robbie. Sorry for the echoing, but like I said, I haven't talked to that guy in so long. I was making sure that he came on the show. I was going to deal with the echoing for as long as I could. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him like pre-show anyway. So I appreciate all of you listening in for being a part of that. He was someone I basically grew up with. There is another show that I am doing by the way. Everybody knows I'm kind of working on a different show, which is not to do with sports. It's to do with other stuff. And he's actually probably someone I'm going to send an invite to do like an interview for that, because he actually grew up with me and he knows some shit. There's some shit, man, that me and Robbie witnessed, first of all, but also did way back in the day when we were kids. We don't talk about it, but we might talk about it. So much love to him. Much love to everybody who's tuning in. I see Robert. I think that's right. Yeah, I was watching one of those hockey podcasts, and they predict Wings win the cup in 3 to 4 years. Well, since we're in the hockey talk, let's talk about that, because I'm a Red Wings fan. I was like, there's a logo in the camera at all times. And if not, Gordie Howe's jersey is literally right there. It's actually not Gordie Howe's jersey. It's Mark Howe's jersey. I was just very drunk when I saw I saw Howe on a jersey on an auction site very late one night, and it was very cheap. And I was like, what the fuck? And I've been on it. And then all of a sudden it came home and it said Mark Howe. And I'm like, sure. Why not? Yeah. And then Robbie comes back. We need to win the cup soon. It's been a hot minute. I agree. Now, here's the thing, though. So for this year, everyone's saying that it's a playoff team right now. If we make it to the playoffs, it's going to be hard to compete. I will be happy. Don't get me wrong. I still think we're a year away. The problem is, I don't think real Red Wing fans, and I say the real ones, the guys who live in Detroit, I don't think that they're willing to give Yzerman that long anymore. I don't. I think what it's going to come down to is if they make another trade this year. I've been on record saying that I want Konecny, and I still hold true to that, because I think Konecny would just make sense for the second line. We can start building up the second line. I just don't want to see us making trades for someone like Elias Pettersson when we're not ready for people like Elias Pettersson. I would love Elias Pettersson. I was also on board with getting DeBrincat. I just said, listen, if we trade for him and we give him that contract and he don't do fuck all, and Detroit doesn't do fuck all, then it was for nothing. And those picks and those players that we traded could have actually done something. Now, obviously, I don't think Sabrango would have done anything. We could have gotten another second rounder for whatever. And I was willing to give up a first rounder to take the chance on DeBrincat. I'm willing to do that this year as well. Now, the 3 to 4 year window, this is where I love the optimism. Fuck yeah, I would love to see that. I even more so, like I said, would love Edmonton and Detroit to play in the Stanley Cup Finals, so I can cry inevitably when I have to try and leave these games with my life. But I think there are other teams right now that are in the league that have a pool of kids that are going to help their team in a couple of years. And I think some of those teams are already in position to win right now. So Florida, Ottawa, the Kings, Minnesota, those teams are going to be around for a while just in the playoffs. And those are teams I don't necessarily think that we can start bumping up. Pittsburgh's going to be gone. Tampa is going to be gone soon, like with regards to certain players and being competitive. But in the East, that means we got to get through Toronto. That means that we got to get through, in a couple years, Montreal, Buffalo even. Like, fucking Buffalo is a madhouse right now. And then the other side of it, like, Boston ain't going anywhere. Philly might do something. And I like what we're doing. And I like the players that we have, but we would have to start trading some of these picks, and we would have to start trading some of these other guys in order to get the core that we need. Because I want Casper and Danielson and Pelika and Wallander and Nielsen and all those guys to make the roster. They're probably 2 years away, though. And I don't want those guys to come in expecting to get playing time And then all of a sudden we're in win mode now and we trade them for assets that are, only 4 years older. Like Hronek. Hronek is kicking ass in Vancouver right now. Not saying I would have kept him. I'm just saying there was more that we probably could have done. So, Yzerman's smart. Look up what he did in Tampa. He built that cup team, finds players in late rounds, and trades for depth. Oh, 1,000%. I know that he helped build Tampa. That's why I always say I'll give Yzerman as long as he wants. I don't ever want another GM ever, to be honest with you. How are you going to turn around and fire? I'm not saying it would happen right now, obviously, but how would you turn around and fire the GM of the Red Wings, who besides Gordie Howe, and arguably Terry Sawchuk, and arguably Sid Abel, that guy's name is the Red Wing, and a lot of people are going to say Lindstrom as well. He played with Lindstrom. All right, they go hand in hand. Do you think someone's actually going to fire Yzerman? Nah. Yzerman's going to win a cup, go to ownership of the Red Wings, and then someone else can come in and build their Red Wing squad or whatever. Yeah. But this is Yzerman way from now on, forever and always. And I'm perfectly okay with it, respectively, because even if it's, say, 4 years before we're competitive and we don't make that many trades out there and we just sign free agents and we let our guys develop, then all of a sudden we literally look like Buffalo right now, where all of those guys have finally developed. And when they have bad years, they're still getting dudes like Savoy and Benson. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that the Red Wings took Danielson last year, but looking what Benson's doing, holy fuck. Buffalo could have 4 lines of scoring if they wanted to. No joke. No fucking joke. Their 4th line could be their 2nd line right now if they wanted to. I don't think Detroit's getting past that right away. I'm just saying, I think Detroit's doing good. I just need them to make another trade. If we're going to go for the playoffs this year, you make a trade for Konecny or someone like that, and I'm happy. That's what Sakic did. Avs won the cup when he became president and had the GM reins to McFarland. And you guys, listen, and you guys also got lucky in the draft. You got Makar, Rantanen, and McKinnon. You can fucking trade all of your pieces away and keep those 3 dudes and build a whole new team around that and still be competitive. You know what that is right there? Pittsburgh Penguins. Crosby, Malkin, Letang. That's literally it. That's what the LA Kings are trying to do right now. Kopitar, Doughty. And, what used to be Brown, but obviously just those 2 now. Yzerman's done a lot for the Wings as a player and now a GM. He's the reason I love the Wings so much. I agree. Datsuk's the reason. Datsuk is the reason I love the Red Wings that much. That's, but also at the same time too, everyone who knows me, and this is no shot at Robert because Robert's tuned in. The older I've gotten, the more I've accepted that you can be friends with people who like a sports team that you may not like. I'm a Red Wings fan because I watched Detroit when I was 6 years old beat the shit out of Colorado. Sorry to say it like that, Robert. And it went back and forth, obviously. But that fucking game in 97 in March 23rd? 23rd? I think it's March 23rd. That game changed everything for me. I literally remember being like, why the fuck? At the age of 6 or 7. But talking to people and being like, why the fuck is Canada's team blue and white, whereas our national colors are red and white, and they literally exist to the better team across the Great Lakes? Could someone explain to me how way back in the day, someone didn't turn around and call them the Maple Leafs and make them actually red. I'm gonna tell you right now, that probably would have attracted me. Maybe, I don't know. I think it was more the fight and then the colors on top of it. That's just me. That's just me. But someone was colorblind. Yeah, someone did not know what they were doing way back then. Someone did not realize, like, Canada, like the Canadian, when we go and play overseas or when we play the Olympic stuff, fucking jerseys we literally represent in are red. Though I'm not gonna lie, the black, when we do the all black with the little red and white stripe, I fucking love those jerseys. But nothing is more iconic than when you just get like almost an all red one. Because like all red just reminds me of the Russians. It's when you add the little white striping in there and stuff, that's what makes it obviously Canadian. And what is it? And why is Montreal the Canadians? Also agree, Ben. Thank you for tuning in. I never understood the whole Canadian story. Like, I remember reading the Ken Dryden book, and they did a little piece in there about the history of it, and I was like, why were people so dumb back then? Like, did they not think that this would just catch on and live like forever? Like, really? I mean, that's also what I think about. Like, I love the Kraken. I love the fact that there's hockey in Seattle. I'm not the hugest fan of the Kraken name. That's just me. I said the steelhead. I was okay with the steelhead. It made sense. Why not the little fish? Why not the little fish? Make it sound intimidating. Why not? I decided to go with a mythological creature at the bottom of the ocean that scares the fuck out of everybody. That may actually exist, that fucking Joe Rogan's been talking about. Okay, that's fine. Still not a fan of the name. Because you think about it 100 years from now, like, maybe like for Fortnite and stuff, when they're like dancing around and doing all the stuff like this, and, you know, they make a little Kraken logo and everybody's all like, oh, look at me, I'm a Kraken. Oh, I can do the Kraken dance. What are you going to, who the fuck's going to, why, you dress up as a flyer? And you dress up as a Red Wing? I'm going to dress, oh, I'm a tire with wheels, or tire with wings. Woo, hoo-hoo. Like, ugh. Some people didn't think back in the day. Some people didn't think at all. But the people who did is the very easy ones, like the Tigers, the Lions, Hawks, like the animals and stuff. That's easy, in my opinion. Or the Jets. We had Robbie on. Let's get the Jets. That's easy. Because guess what? Doesn't matter whether there's peace, war, in someone's backyard, there's always a Jet. What the fuck is a Red Wing? Like, I've always still said that. Like, what the fuck is a Red Wing? And why Montreal is still. But yes, I still think Red Wings have a chance. I think they got to make a trade. Ben being here, congratulations again to your Golden Knights. It seems to be the only thing I hear about in this house now. Though I know that they lost to the Ducks. And then I heard right after that is, how the fuck did we lose to the Ducks? It's hockey. It's an 82-game season. Everybody loses to everybody eventually. It's just the way it is. So, I don't think the Red Wings are going to make the playoffs. I want them to. The Oilers, I still think have a Stanley Cup shot. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, they're going to clip that for the end of the year. But listen, all that money that went into that team, all the movement and the signings, it has all been smart. I don't like Ken Holland. I never will. Whatever. You brought cups to try whatever. Shut the fuck up. The Oilers still have 2 of the 5 best players in hockey. They have a second line that take those guys out of there, is still, in my opinion, one of the best with Nuge and Kane. They have good leadership in the locker room. It's just for some reason, the way that they play now, this year, right now, is not working. It also seems like to me that maybe McDavid was thrown back into this way quicker than he was supposed to be. Because it does look like he's a half step off. The other side of it too, and I don't want to be that guy. I've said it on shows before too, but their contract situation is starting to become something. I think that Draisaitl is starting to show his discomfort now in what is happening with them right now, because the fact that he doesn't want to be there. And I mean that in respect. I know that they've been good to them, and the organization and stuff has been good to McDavid and has been good to Draisaitl. I just don't think Edmonton as a sports franchise around here has enough for them anymore. I'm not saying McDavid necessarily wants to go to Toronto and deal with all that shit, nor am I saying that Draisaitl wants to go to, X team here. I'm just saying that there's obviously something going on. I don't think it's the coach. I think it's maybe just more McDavid and maybe even Draisaitl being a little bit banged up and the rest of the team is feeling it. Maybe there is something internal. But I've told this to a few coworkers now. To see this. How awesome are those Ducks alternatives they need to be? I fucking hate the Ducks. Rob knows that. Yeah, it fucking quacks all up in the chat now. But and now that's what I thought. The Oilers still have a shot at the Stanley Cup. The St. Louis Blues, when they won their cup, if I'm not mistaken, were like 17, 13-6 before they went on their run and won the cup. The LA Kings, their first year winning the cup, if I'm not mistaken, had to win in on their last game of the season, got in on the 8th spot, and literally had one of the greatest postseason runs by a team of all time. The Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby have been on interviews talking about how the first 20 to 25 games of the season they don't necessarily care about. They do almost a bit of a write-off because they can. Because as long as you have the mentality out of every other game from now on, if we lose 4 straight, it's over. We can lose 3, but you can never lose 4 in a row. You always have to make the balance. You can never have more losses than wins going forward. That's what won them a cup. The Oilers have pieces. And yes, a lot of people are like, oh, they should have made a trade for Hellebuck. Hellebuck and the other guy weren't going anywhere anyway. It was all a ruse. And you don't have the money to go trade for Bobrovsky either from Florida. And nor are they giving up Spencer Knight. So yes, I do not think the Oilers are done. I don't think that the Stanley Cup run that this year everybody was thinking that they were going to have is done. I don't. And to be honest, when I'm done here, I will probably, you know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now so everybody can see it right now. I'm going to go to Bodog. I'm going to go to the NHL. I'm going to go to futures. Actually, I think I got to go to sports first. And then I go to, okay, over here. If it'll, oh my God, it's just being so slow right now. But I want to see what the Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup is right now. Because I will put money on it right now. I just got to find it. So hockey. NHL futures. Stanley Cup outright. Vegas Golden Knights plus 700. There you go, Ben. Boston Bruins 750. Wow. Where is my Red Wings? A nice succulent meal. San Jose Shark. What is that? Plus 100,000? All right. Red Wings are plus 4,000. The Oilers right now are still plus 1,800. Are you kidding me? $5 right now. $5 on the Oilers to win the Stanley Cup outright. Just right now. I may have wasted $5. We'll see at the end of the season. But just so everybody knows, right there at the top, Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup plus 1,800. So that nobody thinks that I'm fucking with them. I do still think they have a chance. All right, let me get this thing back in here. Just like that. You know who I don't think has a chance, though? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I don't want to talk about that. We'll talk about that a different week, ladies and gentlemen. My hour is up. Edmonton has kind of fallen with their teams this year. First, the Elks. Now the Oilers. Just don't get how a playoff team can go that bad. Again, yeah, I don't know. It's like, what happened? Like, did Woodcroft like hit on someone's wife? Like, what happened? So, that's it for me. I'm done. I'm done. I have had like zero sleep. I watched all these Marvel things last night, which, by the way, if you know me, I really enjoy the Marvel universe right now. Obviously, some things haven't been that great, but the Marvel's decent. It's okay. It's all right. It was funny. Kamala Khan is awesome. She is hilarious. And the end post-credit scene there, whatever you want to call it. That's all I ever wanted. Just give me more. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm out of here. Much love to all the guests that we had. Shout out to Robbie. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to all the people who have liked and shared and followed this show today. Much love here from your host of North Sports Dynasty. That is me, Andrew Fulbert. Have a good night, sports nerds, and we will talk to you very soon. Goodbye.